Okay, how you doing, guys? I know it's been a bit. Let me address a little bit before I get into this review. It's not going to be very long due to the fact there wasn't a huge amount, but also I still have the issue of coughing. Now, let me explain. I've been checked. I went to urgent care twice. I had lab work done. I don't have COVID-19, and I do not have strep throat. This is a cold that led to a severe amount of coughing, which made me spit up blood and a lot of mucus. And now the mucus has stopped, but the coughing is still there. Like if you've ever had it, where you just keep coughing, and nothing's coming up, and messes with your throat still, that's what I got. I have fevers, I'm fine. As you can hear my voice pretty good. But I still have this cough that is going to take a while to get rid of, so, as you can hear it, I got to try and prevent myself from coughing too much. That would just trigger it to begin. I just cough and cough and cough. So, these videos are going to be a bit shorter than normal. I'm going to be more to the point. And, just let you know I'm alright, I'm fine. But as I said, now only thing I have is a lingering cough that's mostly dry and hurts my throat. That's what we got. Now, I'm going to tell you this. When I looked at this show, I see too much of the main roster on it. I see some of the people that are from the main roster and a lot of influence from the main roster that doesn't look like HBK. Now, many people, excuse me, many people will like that. But if you want something a little bit different, you're not going to get it anymore. And I'm not saying it was great before, but you could tell this was HBK's show. Now, it's pretty much Paul and HBK and one other person that are the executive producers of it, because you can see at the end of the show. So it feels more like something that is a cut-back version of HBK's work. Especially when it comes to the music, the lighting, the intros. It looks more like the main roster. Now, that could be a good thing for many people because now it's consistent. But what made NXT different from the main roster when it was black and gold, then it was to multicolored, now it is silver and gold. Well, silver and black. Not silver and gold, silver and black. It was, you knew this was HBK's show. Now it doesn't feel like HBK's show. It feels like Paul and HBK. So, for me personally, it's brought down the show a little bit for me personally. Doesn't mean it's bad. It just is. I'd rather see this as HBK's. Okay, let's get into this. The majority of the show was alright. They got some good vid packs, like when it comes to Chase U and when it comes to Andre as well as Rich Holland. They're setting up for their match at Halloween Havoc. Also, when it comes to Trick Williams, when it comes to, because I didn't see last week, no, the week before last, because I saw last week, and then I did not see the week before last because I was really sick, so I don't know what happened there. But last week wasn't too bad, the interaction between Trick Williams and a Ethan Page, and here, Ethan's talking about how he's going to destroy Trick Williams in a Devil's Playground match. And he's going to be, basically, it's a lot like Monsters Balls, pretty much. And he has done, I think, one Monsters Ball match when he was in TNA. But, do I feel it? Yeah, I feel it. It does feel a little rushed for me personally, maybe due to the fact I missed so much. But it feels rushed. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Now, the vid pack for Tony D'Angelo was not bad at all, due to the fact of the match between Obafemi and Cursifino. Seeing that Cursifino, as well as Stax, was taken out, and now he wants revenge for what happened to his family because the Don took the North American title away from Obafemi. It feels like a decent storyline. It's not one of the greatest, but it's not bad. When you look at Lola Vice and Jada, and, well, Jada Parker. We had their match where Jada was against Tatum Paxley, and eventually we did get Tatum taken out and taken away in a trunk by Wendy Chu. But also, you got Lola Vice coming out, and they still want their feud, which doesn't really feel like a total feud, to be honest. It feels like they were thrown together, and they're trying their best to make it mean something. Because they were both after Fatal Influence, and now it still doesn't feel like it was right. Like, their feud didn't really feel fully fleshed out before Fatal Influence. And now that they're not dealing with Fatal Influence, it still feels like it's not totally fleshed out. It's not bad, but it doesn't feel like complete. Now, do I care about the tag champs? I don't know. But that's going to be left up to Halloween Havoc, because I hadn't seen a lot of what happened with Axiom and when it comes to, excuse me, Nathan Frazier. But I do know about the situation with Nathan Frazier and Axiom. About Nathan's just a hothead now, compared to Axiom, like Axiom was the reverse. The first match of Damage Control and Metaphor was okay, but then you see Chelsea Green and Piper Nivens come into this, and you could say, well, this is good because they're doing something with the storylines, at least trying to make a storyline for the tag titles. But at this point, where the tag division feels so empty, how many teams you got? Maybe 4 or 5 teams, maybe if you're lucky. And most of the time the women are doing double duty as singles competitors. It doesn't really feel 100% like a tag division. But they are trying, but still it doesn't feel like a tag division. It just doesn't feel like it. It feels very sloppy. But the match wasn't bad, and then the outside interference that ended the match. It was basically what the best they could do. Let me give it to you like this. What do I think about Soruka and Petrovic's match? It doesn't matter. This was about what was going on with Ashanti Adonis and Petrovic's interaction with him being smitten by him. That's what they're doing here. I do not know how far they're going to push Petrovic. I just don't. It looks like she's going to become a crazy woman because she wants that man. She wants that head. Excuse me. And I just don't know. It's a big question how far they're going to push her. Now, Out the Mud versus Hank and Tank with, what was the guy's name? I can't remember his name. He is a NASCAR driver. I don't watch NASCAR. I think I did when I was very young, but I haven't watched it in decades, so I don't know anybody from NASCAR. So he was a very important NASCAR racer. Last year, he won the Ultra, I believe. I don't even remember what they called it. But he's there. Again, TKO WWE getting celebrities or sports icons or sports celebrities into into the concept of their product. They're doing a lot more now. Do I believe it's good? No. It feels out of place. Particularly with Hank and Tank. I mean, it should, but it doesn't feel like Hank and Tank should be interacting with the guy. Maybe in Monster Truck, because that's how Hank and Tank would be more Smash Mouth. I'd rather see a Monster Truck driver than a NASCAR driver, but that's just me. They have the match, and the guy helps them, and they win the match. But do I care? No. It's not something I care about. Finally, the last match, which they're trying to spotlight Vidaire, and they're trying to spotlight Julia. And they're going against Fatal Influence. It was a good match. And it's good to see that they are spotlighting 2 women who just come in. And they won the match due to the fact of, outside interference with Kiana Jordan knocking out pretty much Jasmine. But then the woman who came with the huge amount of light, I don't know who she is. You could tell me who she is. I do not know her. If she's been spotlighted for the last couple of weeks, I tried my best last week to watch NXT, even though I was coughing and I was still sick. So I tried to watch it as much as I could. I don't remember if I saw anything of her. I think I did. I just don't remember. So you can try and tell me. But until I see how they're going to present her, I don't know how to feel about her. I'm completely ambivalent about her. But to me, the show was alright, but does it make me feel hyped for Halloween Havoc? Well, due to the fact I missed 2 weeks of NXT and most wrestling, no. And that's mostly my fault. Well, technically my fault because I got sick. That might be the reason why. It also could be because you can see the product has changed. It's no longer HBK's product. This is 3.0 NXT, black and silver. It feels like the main roster. And even though it's going to be more consistent, does not mean it feels better for me personally. I'm not saying that HBK's style was perfect. Like I said multiple times, he's taken a little bit of Vince and a little bit of Triple H along with his own attitude, and he made NXT the way it was. It wasn't perfect, but it was 101 wrestling. And I think that's what made NXT better than normal. But now it feels like the main roster, and I'm not against it, but I don't feel like the main roster is perfect. And I kind of like the variation from the main roster not being exactly like the developmental. That's just me. Peace.